Happy Saturday. We're starting with cat-cows. As the first 10-15 minutes, we're going to really focus on back stretches. For all my people out there getting ready to just watch inordinate amounts of football, and maybe you already started. From the cat-cow, just coming down into a child's pose, trying to rest your butt down on the ground in between your feet. Hard to get low here when you're first starting, but you're going to work on that flexibility, get better and better. One way is by bending your leg, leaning forward, basic pigeon pose with your opposite leg flat behind you. Breathing easy. While that opens up your hip, you have to remember it's going to connect right into your lower back. And if you only stretch the back alone, it's not enough to protect it, as crazy as that may sound. We need to work the supporting muscles as well. From here, coming into our classic butterfly, feet together, trying to get our knees as close to the ground as possible. This is definitely my weakest stretch that I need to work on the most. Again, opening up the hips, helping the lower back. Then we're going to put our feet straight in front of us. The reason all of these workouts work for all levels is when I say touch your toes, of course, most people can only get to about their knees, shins, somewhere in there. The key is as we get that lower back looser, you're going to be able to exhale and go from the knee to the shin, up to the ankles, eventually touch the toes, and then in time you can be able to grab your heels. And I still have a ways to go, but what you'll notice is my head is getting pretty darn far down, close to my knees. And the key to get better is exhaling and letting that burn sit. Now we got both our hands on the outside of our right foot. You're going to really feel this on the left side of your back as well as your right hamstring. Another great way to loosen up. Go to the other side. Okay. Now for beginners, whenever I go into downward facing dog, which is this, if it's too much on your shoulders, if it's too much to hold your weight up, you can always keep your knees down. And that includes when we're coming down into Vinyasana, upward facing dog. You can do this with your knees on the ground. You don't need to just completely skip it because you're not quite at that level yet. With that said, whether you're a beginner or not, we're going to be going for 5 Vinyasana, upward facing dog to downward facing dog flows. So that's 1. I'll do the second one at the beginner level. That would be 2. Coming back up. Really taking our time here, looking up on the upward facing dog to elongate our backs. It's 4. Thank you for the retweet. And that's 5. On 5, we're going to plant our left foot in the middle. We're going to go right knee to right elbow, up in the air, and then step your foot through. Keep left foot hand planted, right hand up in the air. And even though you can't see the top half of my torso right now, what you're looking at is the stretch. You're looking at the twist. And over time, this hand that now has one finger touching the ground really will become irrelevant as your balance and your strength increases. This should not be like a tripod. You shouldn't be putting all of your weight on your hand. You want as little as possible. Reach forward, Hand back down. Another flow. These vinyasana, upward down facing dog flows, might be a proper name for that in yoga, by the way, but it is a nice way to warm up the arms and the shoulders without overdoing it too quickly. Now we'll go the other way. And reaching forward. Okay, now we're going to come back down flat on our stomachs. From the waist down, we're staying flat. We have the soles of our feet facing the sky. So it's a simple up dog push-up. You're going to feel it in your chest. But what we're really trying to focus on here is elongating our spine on the way, sorry, not on the way, at that tippy top point. I hear probably more commonly than anything else, people that don't necessarily stretch or exercise a lot or consistently have more and more lower back pain issues, soreness. And that's why today we're really trying to focus on, for the opening of the workout, how do we help avoid that? How do we help fix that? So now we're grabbing our right leg with both hands and pushing it up toward our ribs, almost touching our left rib cage. It's another good hip opener. All these hip opening type exercises are going to make a big difference when it comes to your flexibility on your back. Now we're going to lay flat on our backs. Bring our knees together. And just like we like to do pull-ups after we do bench press, push-pull, we were just bending our back the inverse way. So rather than do the push up into the up dog, now we're pulling into a ball. From the ball, we leave one leg flat on the ground, bring the other up and bend it, and bring it across your body while trying to keep your shoulders flat on the ground. Big exhale. Even people that are exercising all the time, if you do this, there is a very good likelihood that you're going to hear a nice bang, bang, bang of cracks in your back if you actually can keep your shoulders down and get that knee down. For me, on this side, I'm a little bit more tense, a little bit harder to keep the shoulder down and get the knee all the way. But we're going to come back to the middle and go both sides again. You'll see on this side, I can really keep the shoulders down and I get closer. So don't be discouraged or weirded out. One side is more flexible than the other. That's going to be pretty natural throughout all of our exercises, to be honest. Okay, we're going to roll back onto our stomachs, push up, and go into a side plank. Now again, for those that are beginners, you can always just put your knee down. Adjust the camera just a little bit. You can always rest your knee down, not have all your weight up in the air. So we're aiming for this, but you can always have your knee down. Once we're up in side plank, we're going knee to elbow 10 times. Again, when we're feeling this in our arms, feeling this in our glutes, the secondary of your back having to be engaged, having to support the actual motion as well as holding you in place is a great warm-up. You're also hammering out a couple of other muscles in the meantime. Okay, we're going to come back to all fours. 5 more cat-cows. And we're going to get into our donkey kicks. Before we get on our feet and do a couple of stretches vertically. I think one thing that you'll notice is I essentially, when I'm stretching out, warming up my back, I include my glutes, I include my butt, because they're completely interconnected and are always supporting each other. So you're always going to feel stronger and looser in the back when you've already gotten the glutes warmed up and stretched out. And fire hydrants. Let's do one more vinyasana, downward facing dog. Coming down, vinyasana, upward facing dog. Really hold that. Let the spine really feel the stretch. You're elongating your back. Really looking up toward the sky. And then come down into a plank. At this point, your plank is like a barometer on how that lower back is actually feeling. If you're new to planks, try putting one knee down. If you have to, 2 knees down. But don't skip it altogether. Work up the stamina, work up the strength. And the key here is, because we're focused on back stretching, right now our back is fully engaged, but if we've stretched it properly, we should not be feeling pain in it. Shouldn't be even feeling discomfort in it. The discomfort, the burn, should really be focused in your abdominal muscles, obviously, and a bit maybe in your shoulders, even your quads. But if it's your back, get back to the stretching. Okay, now we're going to come to our feet. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. I'm not even listening to music, to be honest. I'm just kind of raw dogging this one with you guys. Okay, from the back. Sorry, from the feet, staying on the back. Wiggle the arms, wiggle the arms. Get everything out. Get all the jitters, all the stress, all the distractions, and just shake them out. In the meantime, while your arms do that, you're getting your breath. Now let's intertwine our fingers and try to get as low to the ground as possible. Really breathing, feeling it through the back. Now we're going to keep our left hand on the ground. Right hand goes up in the air. I'm going to change that camera angle. You can see, hopefully, maybe not, that my left leg is slightly bent as my left arm is down. My right hand is up in the air. My right leg is straight. I'm getting a nice stretch in that right hamstring and the right lower back. Back to the middle. Ideally, I would have just gone to the other side with no pause. Let me set my camera up like a jackass. So here we go, middle, and the other side. Another one where if you're a beginner, you can't get all the way down there, try going to maybe the knee on the right side and reach up and get your twist. The knee on the left side, go up and get your twist. Don't be discouraged if you can't get all the way down to the ground yet, because it's going to take practice. Come back up. Try to roll your head up nice and slowly so you're not dizzy. Now we're going to bring our hands over our head in a big circle. We're going forward 10 times. And this is going to start to engage the upper back a bit more, as well as the traps, and show some love to the shoulders, which get put to work when we're doing all of the downward, upward facing dog stuff. Once we hit 10, we're going to keep going forward, but now we're going to do small circles. And backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're getting into our balance. Grabbing our right foot with our right hand. You want to make sure you focus on your breathing, you clear your thoughts, you really create a strong gaze with your eyes. And we're going to bend our leg, grab our opposite knee with opposite hand, and look behind us. This twist is fantastic for the back. Keeping our balance. Warrior 3. Got my feet up over the dumbbell rack. Controlling the weight. Woo! Almost lost balance at the end. Right to the other side. Now the last pose, the Warrior 3, is the hardest in terms of being able to hold it for strength. But the balance here, when we're doing the back stretch, requires full focus. And when you get good at it, you're going to notice what a difference it makes. Now we get into our Warrior 3. Try to hold. Like a straight arrow out of your body.
What's up, Joe?
How you doing?
Good. I'm looking for a Burmese smell.
Did you come from in the air?
No. Like an engine oil smell.
Very nice. The building might be burning down. All right, touching to this again. Now what we're going to do is go into our squat position. Really want to get our butt out. You can get a little lower here. Really want to get our butt out. We don't want our knees to go in front of our toes. And for the stretch, putting our elbow over our opposite knee and looking up to the sky. This is really going to feel good for your back. It's going to be tough at first, especially keeping the form correct with your knees. The other side. Come up to your tippy toes. You can't see my upper torso, but I'm putting my hands straight up in the air, making myself as tall, as long as possible. Then I'm going to drop back to my heels. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Come forward. Try to grab the back. I guess it's not the back of your calves, it's your calves, the back of your legs. And then just like when we were on our butt doing touching toes, now we're going to put both hands on our right heel while keeping both legs straight. Stretching out the hammy, stretching out the back. Going to the other side. From here, take a knee. This is a great one on the beginner level. We're going to go opposite elbow over opposite knee. Really try to aggressively twist. Get that full twist. If you get used to this, any version of these stretches in any sequence, your back is going to be thanking you. And then eventually it's going to be even cooler where you're going to forget what it was like constantly having back problems, back pain. Now we're going to stagger our feet. Hands straight out, moving forward, triangle pose. Another great one for the lower back. Tough exercise. You can see the triangle we're forming with the hand up in the air. Tough exercise, but a really good one to make sure you get in, especially after you've warmed it up a bit. A little bit harder to do this early in the routine. Hand down, we're going the opposite way. So now a twisting triangle. Reach forward, step back, other side, legs are straight. Sorry, my back leg is my base, whereas my front toe is facing forward. Make the triangle, feeling it in the groin, especially the right groin, as well as the lower back. This way, for me, with my right foot leading, my lower left back. And then the reverse triangle is going to essentially switch it up, as one would imagine. From here, we're going to have our feet together. Just move this up a little bit. Again, staying on the lower back, we're just kicking out our right leg, balancing on our left foot. Again, loosening up these hips is going to directly affect your back and how much work you're putting on your back. We want to use our leg muscles. We want to be able to use our obliques. We want to be able to use our abdominal muscles in everyday functional movements so that our back doesn't just step in and play hero ball and strain itself, which is what you're going to have happen to you a lot. You see someone pick something up, it's heavy. Oh, my back. That's exactly what you're seeing. Probably didn't squat down to pick it up because they don't have the flexibility, and the back came in and tried to play hero ball. Okay. Woo. Got in our feet. I hope you can see my balance is all fucked because I got my legs so tired and warm right now. That's why we go back to the balance. Gather ourselves. Okay, we're almost done with the back stretching. So put in the description that we'd open with the back. And that's what we've done. So the other one that I love here to warm yourself up on your back, you guys always hear me talking about twists. This is a great one to start with because you can't F up the form when you're flat on your stomach. The key though is having an arch in your back so you're really you're sitting up straight. And then what I like to do is rest one hand on top of the other to make sure I'm keeping those elbows up. You're going to feel this in your torso, but you're really going to feel this in your back, even more so, I think, than when you're standing. When you're watching a football game, when you're watching a baseball game, you can do this, and really help stretch out, warm up your back without having to miss any of the game, without having to go to the gym, without having to do a whole fucking thing, a whole to-do. You don't have to get changed. You don't have to be a hardo to do some of these basic stretches and do yourself a favor. From here, we're going to land flat on our back again. We're going to do some air humps. You should really feel this in your butt. And it's another good litmus test for, am I compensating with my back when I shouldn't be? And the name of the game here is, once you can do these different exercises and you feel the correct muscles being worked, meaning your back doesn't randomly hurt when you're doing something that shouldn't be related to your back, that's when you know you've actually made progress. Okay, one more time. We're going to go right leg over left knee, turn. Probably my favorite back stretch. That's why we're ending our back stretch session with this, and one last flow. Again, beginners, keep your knees down. Non-beginners, we're in downward facing dog. Vinyasana, upward facing dog. Vinyasana, downward facing dog. Vinyasana, upward facing dog. Vinyasana. There is a reason in most yoga flows, regardless of the level, the style, or the instructor, you're going to see this. It's not a coincidence. Fantastic movement for full body strength and control, and particularly your back. Your back has to move in every direction, under control, maintain strength, maintain form. Come back down, child's pose. Crawl your fingers forward. Okay. That is about 30 minutes of straight up back work. Hope that was helpful for anybody looking to get rid of a sore back. Now the workout continues. Let's get into our crunches. We always do 100 at minimum every day. Get up to sometimes 500, 1,000 one day, 700 one day this week. But we mix it up. We mix it up, and we don't make it a thing where it's tedious and we dread it. We make it a thing where the 100's cake, and then after that, it depends on how the gym is set up, how the body feels, and what we're really focusing on. But we've done a ton of great ab work this week. So, not a top priority, but we're gonna get some work in nonetheless. Totally lost count. go for 50. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Gonna get into some band work now before we start running. I just have to very quickly throw my wash in the dryer. All right, the wash is in the dry. You guys know me, I gotta be double tasking, my apologies. All right, we're gonna get a little pump on the upper body before we hit the treadmill. Got a 10-pound band here. This is the exact thing I just put on my Twitter, just put out a YouTube short. We're going 10. Look at how the symmetry, the control of the weight is almost identical when we're using the band. There's a big advantage to being able to control the weight properly, opposed to just doing more weight arbitrarily. Nothing more stupid than doing weight you can't handle incorrectly. You're just literally going to hurt yourself. It's the opposite of what you're trying to do, which is improve yourself. Now, these are the toughies where we're going straight up, coming down, not touching our forearms, but bringing them together. right. Now we're going to grab a big boy. This is an 80-pound band. So it's like having a 40-pounder in each arm. We're going to start with some hammers. Five, 6, elbows not moving. Getting to that flex point with total isolation. After 10, right here. Now my palm is facing the ceiling, doing reverse curls. With a heavy weight, you're really going to feel this in your forearms, which is going to make you better and better at pull-ups. Now we're going to grab our 40. Much tougher, 400 times harder than it is with our yellow. This gives us a little explosive power. We're going to go forward. We will not be able to do the third motion, as the band obviously doesn't even have that much give or would snap. And then we go back to our big 80. And at this point, your arms are going to feel pretty much like they've been through a goddamn full pump. But because of the bands, we can get through stuff much more quickly. It's 10. Reverse curls. 5. All right. And to complement a little bicep pump we just got, come over to our rope. Have it on 50 pounds. Coming straight down, staying close to the tower, so we're vertical. At the flex point at the bottom, you see my hands turn outwardly. For the extra flex. And at 10, take a step forward, skull crushers. Now we haven't done many, but I just want to get a nice set of 10 air squats in before I do another set of triceps. Keeping the legs engaged, not letting them get disenfranchised as I do some upper body pump. All right, back to our triceps. All right, great pump to open. Wanted to try a little bit of a different camera view today. I wonder if, yeah. I guess we gotta just go with the Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what could actually be the best view. No. Okay, then I think I know what it is. This view's actually kind of funny because for whatever reason it makes it always look like I'm going about a fraction of the speed that I am, which then kind of competitively makes me want to start running faster, even though it's not necessary. All right, we're going to put my towel right here. All right, so it's running time. Finish my first body armor. So every day we're running at least 2 miles, depending on the day, the gym, other factors. If somebody comes in here, you could see me go longer. If nobody comes in, maybe shorter, and then I get in some more lifts. But either way, we're probably, 40-ish minutes into the exercise. We focused on our lower back, did a great job. From here on out, cardio and lifting, everything's a bonus. So let's roll. Start with some Chris Cornell, like a stone. R.I.P. Chris Cornell. Coming right up to his 7 speed to open. So it's about an 8.5 minute mile pace. to speed it up. Go 7.5, 7.6, 7.6 speed, 7-minute 54-second mile pace. Let's go up to 8. 8 speed, 7.5-minute mile pace. Approaching 1 mile. Come on. Work. All right, we're over 1 mile. We're going to speed up to 8.5. 7.04 pace. Eight seven. We're at 6:54-minute mile pace. We're moving. Three-quarters of a mile left. Let's bump it up to 9. 6:40 pace. My feet and stay too close to you. I feel. Come on. Woo-wee! Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Half a mile. Work! What's up? Want to take me home? One lap left. 9.5. Speed. 6:19 pace. Come on, boy. That's 10. There's 2 miles, 15 minutes. Now when I go back down to 7, feels like a light jog. Getting a sprint like that after the cardio pump, the upper body pump, it's tough. That was tough. That's why I got here. Tropical punch, flash IV. Oh shit, I did that whole run on a 0.5 incline. Good for me. So that was even harder. Only body armor is like spinach for Popeye. Do my run, I'm gassed, chug some of this juice, this Michael's Secret stuff, and I'm right back. So we're on a 15 incline now. At least on this angle, you can see the incline more. The 3.5 speed. Uphill walks with these twists. Great for the abdomen. Extremely hard, tedious work after running and everything else. Just gotta outwork. Come on, boy! Because the gym is empty, I'm going to indulge, do a full 10 minutes on the Maurice Britt uphill march. Got under 3 minutes. Almost home, maybe. Ah! Oh. Soon they wander the way they always do when you're riding 16 hours and there's nothing left to do. Try to cry, just wish the trip was through. Say, here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. Almost had an accident. Whew. Can't keep my eyes open. Just got a lot of salt water. Walk into a restaurant, strung out from the road. The eyes upon you as you're shaking off the cold. You pretend it doesn't bother you, but you just want to explode. Oh, it's hard to sing. Most times you can hear them talk, other times you can't. All right, 40 seconds. Ah! Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. Woo! That was great. All right, begin our descent. Go from 15 to 7.5. Take a sip of vodka. Zapped your body, the music had you play. Later in the evening, as you lie awake in bed, with the echoes from the amplifiers ringing in your head, you smoke the day's last cigarette, remembering what you said. All right, let's get it flat. I can't really see. I'm sweating so much. Whew. All right, I'm drenched, full drenched. That was good work. Just walk for a second to cool. We did a nice 2-mile sprint. Sorry, I should say jogging to run into almost a full-blown sprint, followed by 10-minute Maurice Brett 15 incline walk, which ended up equating to over half a mile, closer to 3/4 actually. But again, it's the incline with the twists after having just run to the point of being winded that made that extremely challenging. Where I'm really feeling that. All right. Wash down your machine, even in an empty gym, even in a small gym, maybe even more importantly, because we don't have trainers running around doing it. But we live in a society, people. And if you're tired of all the negativity and all the hatred and vitriol online, why don't you start by breaking a sweat and then washing down the machine for a stranger to be determined at a later date that you'll never know and will never know you. And you're doing it for the principle. You're paying it forward. You know, in life, it works. If you're not a dickhead to everybody, you might actually run into less dickheads yourself. But dickheads have a way of attracting dickheads. And that, my friends, is called the law of attraction. All right, moving on from philosophy. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on a stage. Here I go playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. All right, empty gym, bench press wide open. I'm totally exhausted. Last thing I would think I want to do, which is why I'm going to go ahead and do it. This bench press is kind of going backwards, but fuck it. All the time. All right. We obviously had an intense workout to this point, since it looks like I both shit and pissed my pants, but I promise I didn't. Just good old man sweat there. Oops. Don't need a pincher. If you see someone using a pincher on a bench press with no spotter, tell them to call a suicide helpline or see a shrink because they're about to commit a horrible act on themselves. All right. Take my nifty body armor towel. Got 135 on the bench. Extremely lightweight, Marshall tape. And we're going to just focus on form because it's so light and easy. Obviously, anybody could do 135. Just kidding. But I want to keep my form good. I do have a weaker right shoulder, so a lot of times it'll look like my left side is actually sagging, but it's not because it's weaker, it's because it's taking on more weight. And I'm trying to fix that problem. And you can't really fix it with heavy weight. You got to do it with the light, easy weight. So, look at the form here. Straight down to the chest, keeping that bar level, keeping it under control. I don't have to collapse down or explode up. These are very deliberate reps. Doing bench press under control like this will absolutely yield more results than if you just go heavy, heavy, heavy and you compromise on form. That last rep, you saw I hit the little perch. That's one of the downsides of using what's really a squat rack to do your bench press. There's 10. Take a sip of body armor. We don't need a huge break here. The shorter the break, the harder these reps will obviously get, even though we're doing the lightweight. I gotta make sure I scoot out so you don't hear that clang again of me hitting the back end of the perch. I don't know what it's actually called, the perch, but it's what we put the bar on, so it's kind of what it acts as. Here we go. Another 10. Remember when we were doing our back stretches earlier, we did this sitting on our butts. You can also do it on the bench press. Just side to side twists. It's a nice movement in between bench press, especially if you're in a crowded gym and you don't want to lose the bench, but you need to take 30 seconds to 2 minutes to gather yourself between sets. This is really nice. It's going to both, for the bench press, make sure your back is staying loose, not tightening up on you. And also, if you notice with my arms here, I'm kind of twisting them a little extra with the elbow. The reason I do that is when you get your elbow across here, it's just like when you're doing cross cables, you're getting a nice pump in your boobie. So we're keeping those boobs maximum blood flow as we go into that last set. Now for this last set, I'm going to do 5 reps, not 10, but we're going to force ourselves to be even more disciplined in that we're going to couple it with leg lifts. So as the bench comes up, you're going to see my legs come up and the bar and my feet will hit, working the entire body, back, abdomen, legs, just everything in one synchronized, coordinated movement. Do not do this without a spotter. Do not do this with heavy weight. And do not do this casually by yourself the first time. This is a dangerous exercise if it's done even correctly, much less incorrectly. So I've got my back, especially my lower back, even though it's off the bench right now, it's going to come flush. And we want to make sure that we are flush dead center for our balance. Once we know we have that, we get going. So the legs will come up with the first rep. And there it is. You can see my hips come all the way off the ground. Completely isolates it on your chest too, for the weight. All right. All right, good work on the bench. Let's stay on the pump. Well, we got it rolling. Go right back to our 10-pound band for our shoulders. Step through. And again, for these band exercises, don't need a gym, don't need a big budget. You can probably find packages online ranging from like $20 to $100. I strongly recommend, if you are serious about it, spend the extra whatever and get the expensive ones. And they won't be that expensive, but the more expensive ones, because the really cheap ones will snap very quickly. Even the expensive ones will snap every now and then, but the cheap ones have like no shelf life. There's a reason they're $10, $15, $20. Don't get those. All right, hard ones now. Off the side. I like to get the shoulders right after the bench. We also got it before. And each one's been a superset. So you can see the efficiency here. For a lot of people, this could be a 45-minute shoulder day if you just include our shoulder exercises. All right. Good work there. Go to our triceps. Close to the tower. We get down to the flex point, turning the hands out. So when we're doing bench press, we're using our chest. With the leg lifts, we're using our core. The other major ones are really going to be your shoulders and triceps. So I like finishing them, so to speak, by isolating them secondary time after having done the cardio, after having done some bench press. Just so you know where my thinking is. This has all been fluid and not pre-planned. That's how I do these. Nothing's really pre-planned outside of how we're going to start. Today we started with a back stretch. So if you have any back issues, check out those first 20 minutes. Now we're in skull crushers. And you can't really fully complement the bench press without doing at least a set. Pull-ups. We're going to do a different form though from yesterday. This way. With our legs up. Just hanging around. You have a lot more stamina than you think. Just most people are soft. When the going gets tough, they get going. Woo! Baby boy. Come back to the ground. Some cat-cows. So what are we doing here? We're going right back to the fundamentals after doing bench, pull-ups, shoulders, triceps, the sprint, and the entire warm-up. Making sure our core, our base is strong and is protected into our donkey kicks. Fire hydrants. Woo! Donkey kicks. Fire hydrants. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Pedaling our feet. One heel hits the ground and then the other. One heel hits the ground and then the other. come down into our plank. Now, one thing I love about planks is you have to rely on a little bit of everything. And it starts from the inside out, just like Karl Anthony Towns Jr. needs to play this year. Inside out. You're 7 feet tall. Don't pull up from 35 with 20 left on the shot clock. We used to have a very simple rule in CYO basketball for our centers. You need to touch the paint with both feet on every possession on both sides of the floor. And anytime you don't, it means something went wrong. Now, it might not be your fault. Maybe the point guard turns the ball over, they get an easy layup. You ran back, they made the layup before you could get there. It's not your fault. However, if you pull up from 35 with 20 left on the shot clock, you're out of the game. And if I were the coach, you're off the team. Anyways, can't wait for the new season. Now we're going to come up to extended plank. Plant our left foot. These core workouts are very hard after putting in all the other work. We're going to go right leg up in the air, right knee to left elbow, back up in the air. Take your time, complete the rep, maintain the form. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Other side. Very hard after the bench press too, to really keep yourself pressed up. Step through. Stretch. Do this before we run. Do this almost every morning. Flow it again. I've done a ton of these today. Really working the shoulders and the chest. On top of the bench, on top of the shoulder exercises, top of the planks, on top of the running. Into our squat. Turn one way. Look up. Turn the other way. Look up. Back down. Okay. Keep working. Keep the heart rate up. Don't get lazy as you get tired. So now we're back in our seated twists. 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 80, 90. Get those elbows up, bitch. About 100. Come on. Really feeling it in my abs. Woo! And a little bit in the lower back, which is what we're going to do. Quick pretzel stretch. Both both sides. Keep it loose. And then, only done 100 crunches today. Let's get our second 100 now, while our arms and legs are devastatingly tired. A full swamp ass. $57, $56, $55, $54, $53, $52, $51, $50. $60. See my swamp ass. Look at that swamp ass. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. I call it 60. I lost count. I'm definitely over that. $20 left. $0. Elbow to knee. Under control. My stomach is broken. Let me get a better view. Here we go. Reverse crunch. This takes practice, this takes time, this takes persistence. But when you get to the point where you can really bring those knees up to your cheekbones, keep your legs synchronized without touching the ground, but getting very close to it, you're going to build up your lower ab muscles in a way you never knew possible. I would also argue, as people love to point out online, targeted fat loss, or whatever you like to call it, doesn't work. I agree. You need to do everything. This is one element to go alongside others that will make the lower abs pop. Another example are twists. Another example is walking uphill doing twists. Another example are the obvious crunches, but more importantly, things like the planks, the knee to elbow extended planks. All of those where you're working your own body weight and you're trying to twist and move those muscles in your abdomen are going to come back and pay off here. It also makes things like pull-ups much easier because obviously you're showing a control and dominance over your own body weight. And pull-ups, that's the whole game. Can you control your own body weight? And not just with your arms. That's where a lot of people make a mistake on pull-ups. When I'm doing pull-ups, of course, my arms, but it's not my biceps yanking me up. It's the grip, the forearm, the bicep, the tricep, the shoulders, the traps, the back, the abs lock in, the legs engage. Every part of my body contributes. And that's why I can do a bunch of them. I'm not relying on one muscle group. Back to our plank. Left arm, right leg. Ooh-wee. Feeling it here. Other side. Another flow, downward facing dog, vinyasa, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, vinyasa, upward facing dog, vinyasa, downward facing dog, vinyasa, upward facing dog, vinyasa, side plank. Didn't see that coming. Other side. Back to our regular plank. Okay. Quick child's pose here. Really stretching out the fingers. Now, working the abs. We already did 3 sets on the bench press. We did 1 set with the leg lifts. Let's do a second set with the leg lifts. Again, this is not for beginners. This is not to be done with heavy weight. And this is not to be done without a spotter. Very dangerous, some might even say stupid exercise, which is also a pretty good way to describe me as a person. Okay, here we go. First, we're going to lift. We're going to bring the weight down, and then our legs will explode up with the first rep. Let's go for a full 10 and say, fuck it, okay? Fuck it. 1, 2, 3, 4, ridiculous workout. 5 at this point. 6, hour and a half in. 7, 8, 9, 10. Complete body control. Everyone obsesses overweight. And they should be focusing on do they fully control themselves? Can they handle their own weight? I always like to follow up the push with the pull. Going with this grip today. By having our legs up when we're doing the pull-ups with this grip, we're working more on our chest muscles and we're relying more on our abs, which complement and add to everything else we've been doing today. Boy, I'm actually out of breath. This has been great. This has been great. Great work, everybody. Great work, guys. Let's go. 40-pound band. When I say step through it, just in case there's any confusion, right here, see, putting the sole of my foot right on the middle, and that's what gives me my grip. Let's go both hands at the same time, starting with our hammers. Laundry's definitely done. Great feeling when you finish your workout and your laundry is dry, waiting for you. Double win, double production, double results. Now I'm working my way into a reverse. Can't tell you how great it is to keep those elbows completely stationary. isolate the biceps. Now we're going to go regular, one at a time. It's what I like about bands is you can be fluid in your decision making. You're not stuck on one set, one form. You can mix it up based on how the body's reacting. Back to two-handed hammers. Goddamn, that felt good, boy. Last set of cat cows. Remember, this is how we started our entire thing. Really getting our back loose. It's nice to start where you finish, where we knew we were coming in today to make sure no matter what else, we got a really good back stretch. It's smart to, at the end of the workout, go ahead and give her a little test. See, how's the back feel? Loose, tired, strained, what? And for me right now, it feels warmed up and healthy as fuck. So I love it. Go right into our donkey kicks, last set of them. Helps build up your butt, helps build up your lower back strength, as well as your fire hydrants, which is also, as well as the donkey kicks, going to incorporate your hip flexors. Last pretzel. This is the stretch everybody should start practicing. And if you're a beginner, let's say you can't get this foot over this knee, no fucking big deal. Don't beat yourself up. It's not a big deal. Just bend your leg. Even if you can only bend your leg this much. Everybody has to start somewhere. Who gives a fuck if you're way, way, way behind? Good for you for starting to turn it around. All that matters is what you're going to do going forward. Whatever you did up until right now, doesn't matter. It's in the past. It's fucking fairy dust. You can focus on it all you want. Doesn't matter. Start now. So if you're brand new, just bend your knee and try to get your hands over. Try to look behind you. And the idea here is you're twisting just a little bit. It might just really be your chest to start. It might just be your upper back to start. But that's how you start. And then over time, you start working those hands down. You start working your hands all the way behind you. And you're going to get flexible enough to eventually put your leg over. Then maybe again, it's still only the hands, but eventually you'll take a deep breath and bring that elbow over the right knee. It's just like when young people freak out about their offer letter because they want 5, 10, 20K more. It's your offer letter. It's the starting point. You go in and perform, you're going to get the raise. You know? Everybody wants everything handed to them so quickly now. You gotta fucking earn shit in life, man. And when you earn it, I swear to God, it feels a lot better than when something handed to you. All right, we're almost done. Good workout today. Almost at an hour and 45 minutes. One more sip of our body armor. Take our big boy 80-pounder. Do some reverse curls. Getting our final arm pump before before we go out into the glorious Saturday. Try to find the love of my life. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the elbows tighter. Hammers. What we're going to finish with, I'm going to call the Hercules hold, where you take both of the 80 pounders. First with the left arm, I'm coming up, and I'm holding it as high as I can. You'll see it much better on my right side. Hercules hold right side. Just letting it all burn, letting your muscles rip. Let's see if with a 40-pound, if we can hold the Hercules with a bit better form. Yeah, look at that. You can see my arm now at 90 degrees. May as well do it like this. Just holding it. Just holding it, showing endurance and maintaining strength. Right side. This will get your grip strength great. This will make your pull-ups easier. And a lot of it just comes down to mental toughness. Trying to keep the hold. Trying to keep the grip. Right side. Again, we're gripping both handles with one arm and holding it. The Hercules hold. Feeling the burn here of everything in the band. Trying to throw your fist back at the ground. Do one more on the shoulders. I posted this earlier. 10-pound string, band. Feels like nothing, but we're going to do a perfect synchronized 10 out to the side. Into 10 forward. Into, get my grip. We're out wide, straight up, straight down, forearms don't touch. Straight up, straight down, forearms don't touch. Straight up, straight down. Do this in a hotel room, in your bedroom, in your living room, bathroom. You don't need a gym. You don't need tons of fancy equipment. This is going to work your entire shoulder, upper back area. Frank must have retweeted my workout post because I see a lot more people entering. Shout out, Frank. Oh, getting into our plank again. As we're finishing out, always like to get the full body as as much as possible at the end. See if there's anything that feels off, overworked, underworked, etc. Right now, everything, all systems seem to go. With our planks, we do like to mix it up. For example, left arm, right leg are up. Hold it for a few seconds and then switch. Back to the regular. Brings us to downward facing dog. Pedal our feet, meaning one heel touches the ground as the other leg bends. And then Vinyasana, upward facing dog. Vinyasana, downward facing dog. Vinyasana, side plank, 10 elbow to knees. Switch it up. Woo! Woo! I gotta start that whole set over. Completely lost balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The left arm is getting wobbly, which is very good news. That means we've done some work. Back in a regular plank. For anyone that wasn't on earlier, this is how we started with our cat-cows, arching our back, really getting the lower back stretched out into the hips. Okay. We'll do one more set of bench press leg lifts since we got some new viewers. Only want to do this if you have a spotter and you only want to start trying it with both the spotter and light weight because you're not just relying on strength here but also balance. And if you fuck up, you can break your neck. So the stakes are high when it comes to this one. So we're going to go straight up. And our legs will go up with the first rep. This is 135. So light weight. There we go. And to finish, we will go back to our bands one last time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I really do think today was an exceptional workout. 40-pound band, hammer to reverse curl, into regular curl, palm facing the sky. Never stop working during these, always going up and down in a continuous flow. Or you can go both arms at the same time. Now let's go with our Hercules holds. Start with the right side. Both bands are in one hand. Trying to keep our arm at a 90-degree angle. feel a great flex on that. Left side, I'm gonna use my left foot too, just to maximize the form. There we go. All right, guys, we got a great workout today, full body. If you're interested in figuring out how to get rid of back pain, soreness, back pain prevention, really focus on the first 30 minutes of today. Woo, that Hercules. The rest of the workout is really just plug and play. So have fun trying different stuff. By no means does this need to be in sequential order. I think that's a bit overrated. I think what's more important is we get our asses in the gym, we get to work, we keep it interesting, we keep it fun, we focus on form, and we prioritize dominating our own body weight over any sort of arbitrary weight that we think sounds or looks cool or somebody else can do. So we're going to end here with a Hercules hold. I love you all. Check out my NFL against the spread picks. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.